It is 1 p.m. East African time here in Nairobi, Kenya. I hope you're keeping well. You're just in time for News Now at 1 with I, Sheilar Chelangat. But first, let's take a look at what is making headlines at this hour. The highlights. 3 children die in Gashie, Kiambu County following a tragic fire incident that occurred last night.
Stima ilikuwa imepotea. Hatuwezi sema ni stima. Maybe kulikuwa ni candle walikuwa wamewasha.
Military and police officers' involvement in politics has been condemned by a section of leaders.
Wakuu wa majeshi, mkuu wa polisi hawezi ingia kwa siasa.
And the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, KEFIS, has sensitized Nyandarua farmers on how to identify certified seeds.
Kila duka ambayo inauza mbegu ikuwe na certificate ambayo tunaita seed seller's license.
All right, let's get you informed. 30 minutes of this broadcast begins now. We begin in Gashie, where residents of that village in Kiambu County are in sorrow after a tragic fire incident that occurred last night and left 3 siblings burnt beyond recognition, while one escaped death narrowly with injuries. Led by Dixon Juma, the residents pointed out that the Kiambu fire engine responded late, leading to destruction of the fire. The house owner, John Ombasi, who is a night guard, on his part has explained how he was informed about the incident, noting that the fire destroyed everything he had. Speaking at the scene, the area MCA Kabau Muthondu has disclosed that the remains of the 3 children have been taken to Kihara Level Hospital morgue as they await autopsy.
Kwa majina naitwa Dixon Juma, na kwanga single mother, na kitambo janga litokee ni kama alikuwa ameenda kutafuta. Sasa hatuwezi jua janga hiyo moto ilitoka kwa sababu gani. Stima ilikuwa imepotea. Hatuwezi sema ni stima. Maybe kulikuwa ni candle walikuwa wamewasha na wakawacha. So kuanzia hapo sasa sijui juu. Sasa ni watoto 3 wameungua pale kiasi cha kutotambulikana. Na ni mmoja tu ndiye ametoka akiwa hai. Gari ya kuzima moto ilikuja kama tayari moto imeshazimwa, imekuja late. Kama tayari watu majirani wameshashughulikia moto, wamezima moto. So hakuna kitu gari ya moto sima moto ilifanya.
Majina yangu naitwa Kafau wa Muthondu, mimi ndio MCA wa area hii ya Kihara. Nataka kuomba wazazi na kuwashauri wakati wowote wanawacha watoto wadogo kwa manyumba, wawe wamekuwa na mipango dhabiti ya kuona ya kwamba kuna mtu mkubwa ako karibu anaweza saidiana na hii watoto ikiwa kuna shida yoyote inaweza kutokea. Mabaki ya mwili ambayo yaliyochomeka imehifadhiwa hapa Kihara Level 4 Hospital, na kama vile nimesema kwa lugha ya kinyumbani pia, yule mtoto ambaye aliweza kuepuka haya amelazwa kwa hiyo.
And into the world of politics, military and police intervention on political matters in the country has elicited mixed reaction amongst leaders in the country. Saboti Member of Parliament Caleb Amisi has called on the government not to involve security forces in political rally matters, since this infringes the right of every Kenyan in participating in political processes. Amisi's sentiments comes days after Police Inspector General Douglas Kanja accompanied President Ruto in a political tour of Mount Kenya region.
Wakuu wa majeshi, mkuu wa polisi hawezi ingia kwa siasa. Siasa watu wanatusiana. Unapata kiongozi huyu ametusi huyu. Wewe ukitusi polisi atakudishia matusi ama atakudishia risasi? Sasa atakudishia risasi. Ndio maana tunasema polisi msijiunge kwa siasa. Siasa wachie wana polisi wakuwe na ulinzi. Makuu wa jeshi ni ya kulinda taifa. The military exists for protection of the sovereignty of the Republic of Kenya and the territorial integrity of the citizens of Kenya. it does not exist to politics. Ndio tunasema military na police wawachiwe ulinzi. Msiwasumbue, msiwalete ndani ya siasa. Wangapi wanakubaliana na mimi kwamba wasiwasumbue? Sawa sawa.
And still in the world of politics, a section of leaders from the Gusii region are calling on former Chief Justice David Maraga to set aside his presidential ambitions in favor of former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i. The leaders say that Maraga could complicate matters for Matiang'i as the people's choice for the country's top seat in the next polls if he proceeded. Further, they have advised Maraga to protect the credibility he earned from his exemplary service in the judiciary, claiming he risks marring it in the presidential race politics. At the same time, they have urged Matiang'i to initiate linkages with like-minded political parties to ensure that his support is drawn from across the country and not only his region.
Maraga kuingia katika kinyang'anyiro cha urais, hiyo ni udhani. Yeye mwenyewe hajajitolea na aseme anataka kiti cha urais. Maraga alifanya kazi nzuri katika judiciary, akailainisha, akamaliza corruption. So ile jina ya Maraga hawezi kubali kuharibu. Anaweza kuwa na haki ya kusimama, lakini kwa sababu mwenzetu ambaye ni Matiang'i yuko na mkakamavu, sisi tunaomba Maraga atulie kidogo, na yeye serikali, tukishinda serikali atatuadvise, kwa sababu Maraga ndiye anatakana kusaidia kama elder, tupate watu kama Kalonzo, tupate watu kama Eugene, tupate watu kama kwa Munyoro, ili kushuhudi tutembee safari pamoja. Ile serikali ya Matiang'i inakuja, iko na kazi mingi, kila mtu anaweza pewa afanye.
And away from that, the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, KEPHIS, has kicked off a sensitization exercise meant to enhance farmers' ability to identify certified planting seeds in Nyandarua County. According to KEPHIS Inspector Nancy Chelangat, there has been an increase in cases of dealers selling uncertified seeds to unsuspecting farmers in the county. Chelangat advised farmers to purchase seeds from KEPHIS licensed stockist.
Tunaweza kuingia kwa kila duka huku Nyandarua County kuhakikisha ya kwamba kila duka ambayo inauza mbegu ikuwe na certificate ambayo tunaita seed sellers license, na advice wakulima waweze kuchukua certified seed. Tumesema ya kwamba certified seed, one, utavuna mazao ambazo ni mingi. Ya pili, iko na risk kidogo ya magonjwa kwa sababu imepitia process kubwa. Hii certification na ikuangi tu kwa duka peke yake. Imeanza from ikimpotiwa, ikiwa kwa shamba mpaka wakati inakuwa packaged. So imepitia process mingi compare to ile yenye mkulima amepanda akarudia. Unaona hiyo mazao inaenda ikienda chini, na pia magonjwa inakuanga very prone to diseases.
Challenge ambayo tuko nayo kubwa sana ni ya kwamba kuna wale ambao wanapata mbegu ambazo hazistahili.
And away from that, the community living around a dam in Juja has erected signage and warning banners bearing messages against swimming in the dam to prevent loss of more lives. This has been characterized by a history of fatal accidents due to its dangerous currents. The deep dam is said to have been posing inherent risks to residents and visitors. Recently, authorities in the area halted swimming and fishing activities at the dam, where 2 university students drowned while on a swimming expedition. The locals have also commenced a sensitization campaign that will see strangers seeking to venture there for fun to be cautioned to avoid tragedies at the dam.
Na nataka kuhimiza kila mtu ako na hoteli hapa, ule mtu anafanya biashara hapa, lazima hii ni lazima kwa hoteli aweke signpost ya kuonyesha wale watu wote wanakuja wanakuja kwa hoteli wajue ni hatari kuingia kwa maji.
Tukiomba wa matangi, sababu napenda watu wa Kiambu na watu wa Twiga, atujaribie vile hata inaweza tutengenezea hii daraja ambapo ni kidogo kulingana na population ya Twiga. Hata national government wanaweza ingilia kati, sababu hii daraja inahitaji wako na mahitaji baribari, sababu hata kama county government inaweza tusaidia, nayo national government inaweza tupanulia hii daraja, ndio at least hao watu ambao wana accommodatiwa huko Twiga watakuwa akiweza kupitia hiyo daraja ikuwe two way.
And residents from the coastal region have been encouraged to register for the health insurance scheme SHA to ensure they receive quality healthcare services and improve access to services for the entire community. Speaking in Ngao Town, Tana River County, Deputy Government Spokesperson Mwanaisha Chidzuga stated that registering for SHA will enable people to benefit from basic healthcare services such as treatment, vaccinations, and other essential services provided by the government. She further indicated that this is part of efforts to improve the country's healthcare systems and ensure the services reach everyone regardless of their financial status.
Nawasihi ndugu zangu, baba zangu, rafiki zangu, shemegi zangu, watoto wangu wa Tana River. Tuko na mpango wa SHA. Mujiandikishe ili muweze kupata huduma ya afya kwa wote. Kitambo ilikuwa tunachelewa, tunalipa katika siku 60. Kwa sasa tunalipa katika hospitali zote za kaunti na vile vile serikali kuu katika kipindi cha siku 14. Pesa ile inatumwa moja kwa moja katika kaunti kuboresha huduma za afya. Kina mama kujifungua, huduma ile ipo, dawa zitakuwa hapo, lakini la muhimu ni kujiandikisha.
We now shift focus to Murang'a County, where residents of the county have been urged to prioritize hygiene as a critical measure in combating the rising cases of cataract diseases. This call has been made by specialists in eye, nose and throat diseases during a free medical camp held at Michuki National Polytechnic in Kangema constituency. As our reporter Robert Gakure reports, over 1,000 residents benefited from the health camp.
During the free medical camp at the Michuki National Polytechnic in Murang'a County, health professionals noted that poor hygiene is a significant contributor to the increasing incidences of cataracts in the region, emphasizing that maintaining clean living environment could significantly reduce the risk of developing this eye condition.
We have seen cases of eye are on the rise with cataracts. Maybe sometimes people are not cleaning their eyes, so that is something that a cataract can come through.
Shri Jain Youth League, Vika, they are the ones we are collaborating with, so that they can give us free eye ENT clinic.
The specialists stressed the importance of regular eye checkup, noting that early diagnosis is crucial for effective treatment, as many residents may not realize the symptoms of cataracts until the condition has progressed.
Preventive measures is obviously hygiene. We need clean water to prevent cataracts, to prevent ear infections and everything. And at the same time, a lot of sanitization to the public on the hygiene.
Residents narrated the challenges they faced in seeking treatment, with some traveling long distances to access health care, only to return home without treatment due to long queues at local health facilities.
Unaenda Murang'a ndio General Hospital. Unaenda unakwa miezi mingi 3, 4 na saa hiyo bado uko na mashida yako tu. Sasa hapa ukikuja ni kutibiwa mara moja, hakuna kuwekwa. Sasa kesho mimi nakodheka nitibiwa mapua, hiyo shida hata hii ishe wiki ingine sina shida.
Stakeholders underscored the need for frequent health outreach initiatives across the country, advocating for regular sensitization programs which could play a pivotal role in reducing the prevalence of cataracts and other preventable diseases. Robert Gakure, TV47, Murang'a.
Thank you, Robert. And a project has been developed in Malindi with the intention of targeting diaspora returnees who are seeking to reconnect with their local roots. The 5 billion shillings Royal Tulia Gardens project has already attracted 100 diaspora investors from all over the world looking to relocate and invest in Kenya. According to Ralph Kilondu, chairman of Capital Compass Group Limited, the development not only boosts real estate in Malindi, but also impacts the local economy through the hospitality industry.
The entire project is worth more than 5 billion. So the 1.075 is what you're going to finish up with this phase, and then the next phase, who knows? We are thinking that even that additional, the 5 that we're saying, will even be a lot more higher, because our thinking has been much more bigger now than what we're having in mind, because of even the ideas that the Kilifi County government has actually shared with us and what we think we can do. So collectively, we know we are going to make a significant contribution into this county.
I'm one of the very many African Americans, people of African descent, who's coming home, because it's like we're being pulled back home. We're having a not so great experience in the West, so our soul is bringing us back home.
Individuals all over the states and abroad, helping them to come to Africa, right, to the continent, in order to, basically reconnect with their roots.
Right, interesting developments there. Away from that, after a long time of discrimination in the issuance of permits and an unfriendly regulatory framework that has been termed to derail investments in the multi-billion sector, the Kenya Chamber of Mines is now optimistic that the process is going to be seamless. Speaking here in Nairobi during an annual general meeting, Kenya Chamber of Mines Chairman Patrick Kanyoro said investors in the sector are facing challenges in getting the necessary approvals from the ministry amid what they term discrimination in the issuance of permits, while calling for a fair, ethical, professional and legal process at the State Department for Mining and the ministry. Kanyoro said reforms being put in place by the government will turn around the sector. Kanyoro was re-elected KCM's chairperson unopposed.
The issue of licenses and permits remains one of the biggest bottlenecks for the sector players. Besides that, there is one of the key resolutions of the AGM is that as the sector players, we need to engage in a process that will inform the law that should guide the mining sector in this country, because I think all the previous attempts have been attempts that have not included the sector players, and therefore perhaps this is what has kept the mining sector pretty dormant and unable to attain that target of 10% that the government has always wanted.
We also have implemented a lot of best practices in mining, and case to that is the rehabilitation, world-class rehabilitation program that we have, showcased by our Halapak process, where we do have flora and fauna existing in a former quarry. So it is about sustainable mining.
When we talk of revenue and any generation to the national GDP, we expect a group that is legal, that is working with the required permits and licenses. And this is what we've just discussed in this meeting, that going forward, we would love to see the government start issuing permits and licenses from where we will be able to submit.
And Utalii College students have been urged to apply for the 280 million revolving fund, which is facilitated by the Tourism Board. Speaking during a graduation ceremony held at the Institute, Utalii College CEO Mark Okendi stated that the fund is aimed at helping learners from humble backgrounds acquire hospitality skills. Further, Okendi encouraged students to enroll in more hospitality courses, emphasizing that the job opportunities for the industry are endless.
Basic level.
Currently, we have a revolving fund, and students who are training here, they're able to apply and get funds through Higher Education Loans Board. We have a fund of about 280 million facilitated by Tourism Fund, and I can confirm that our students now are already benefiting from that fund. It's helping those who are unable to raise fees to be able to get to school, get their studies without struggle.
Today we are very grateful. We have graduated 661 graduates in our refresher courses, and we want to encourage other regions to prepare, because we are moving there, and we want to train all people who are in the hotel industry and the tourism sector in customer service, management development programs, and many other programs. We want to enhance customer service in the entire industry.
And away from that, the Water and Sanitation Providers Association has embarked on creating innovative financing solutions to facilitate sustainable and equitable water and sanitation services across the country. According to WASPA Chair Thomas Odongo, the goal is to create financial models that support long-term infrastructure investments while improving access for underserved communities. He noted that the association has onboarded financial institutions such as banks for provision of loans to facilitate implementation of last-mile connectivity and infrastructural development. The association will also be holding an international conference in partnership with the Ministry of Water, which seeks to address the existing financing gaps in the sector.
We have a partnership with the cooperative bank, Aqua for All and Water.org, and they are coming up with a concessional loan for water service providers looking at last mile connectivity and infrastructure development. Apart from that, today we've had a presentation on funding opportunities through the African Development Bank. One is through the African Water Facility, which looks at project preparation, and now the other arm of AFDB that looks at financing investment. So that is what we are doing. We are looking at local solutions for our local problems when it comes to bridging the financing gap.
Yani non-revenue water inamaanisha kwamba ni maji ambayo tumeproduce, yameingia kwa system, lakini hayawezi kunakilika. Kumaanisha kwamba 45% yale maji ambayo tumetoa hayawezi kuweza kulipiwa, yani halipiwi, na ni kwa sababu ya mambo kadhaa. Jambo la kwanza ni kwamba tuko na network ambayo ni ya zamani, imezeeka, pipe ama mabofa ambayo ni ya zamani. Pia tuko na equipment kama mita ambazo pia ni za zamani ambazo zifanya kazi vizuri, lakini pia tunajua inachangiwa pia kwa sababu wakati mwingine hatuna ile inaitwa last mile.
And to matters education, a total of 356 students from Embu University have benefited from the university's endowment fund, which injects 100,000 Kenyan shillings to the tuition accounts of needy students annually. Speaking at the check presentation ceremony held in Embu University, the fund's Board of Trustees Chairman, Lenny Kivuti, emphasized that the fund aimed at eliminating financial barriers in education. On behalf of the school, the university's Vice Chancellor, Professor Daniel Mugendi, hailed the endowment fund for its efforts in reducing the financial burden on deserving students.
We have recognized and consistently responded to student challenges since the institution was established. Specifically, the university dedicates approximately Kenya shillings 2.5 million every financial year to provide financial aid to students in need. Today, we are giving Kenya shillings 3 million to support students who need our help the most. We may not be able to satisfy all the needs, but at least we will have helped to bridge the gap where it exists.
Because the endowment fund is a perpetual fund. In fact, we don't even take all the interest. We invest the interest and we share every year to see what can we give out and leave the growth still going up.